the greater your calling, the more gifted that you are, determines how powerful the attacks will be. You know, some of us grew up in hell-like households. And some of us even been, violated. We had family members, trying to destiny swap with us, doing things to try to humiliate us. We was getting humiliated, rituals and things did to us being manipulated at a young age. And we thought that these people was our family and they only wanted, good for us. But at the same time, we felt something wasn't right. The other kids was being treated better than us. You felt like, just you was always in trouble and always looked down on and talked about, barely had any friends. And every time you did have a friend, you had family members, cousins trying to embarrass you in front of your friends or in front of just people because they've always knew that you were gifted. You always had this calling. The enemy always knew who you was. So from a child, you was attacked all the way up to adulthood. So now that you are more wise and you understand this spiritual warfare, now all the pieces of the puzzle is being put together. Now you understand why all your family members have been hating, but they can't keep their eyes off you. They all want to know what you got going on in your life and how good you doing because they are envious of you. They've been trying to, swap places with you since you was a child. They've been trying to steal your essence ever since you was a little kid. But see, you was always protected. And now that you are older, they try to mimic you. They watching you. They watching everything that you do. They want to be you. They secretly admire you, but they are envious because they cannot wear you because they just not you. So every time you come around, when you come around, because you don't really go around these people, you don't fuck with your family members. But when you do go around, they all, hey, blase skip, they acting like they really love you and miss you. But then you turn around, you see the other family members, they eyeballing you. They looking at you crazy before they even speak. You know what I'm saying? So you can see the envious and the malicious looks in their eyes before they even open up their mouth. Because they always known the spirit. See, some of them are NPCs and they don't even know why they don't like you. It's just the spirit, the demon in them understands who you are. Because they've been caught up in this matrix and they have an empty vessel and the demon has jumped inside of them and the demon is controlling them. So every time you come around, that light is so bright, that light is so powerful that it awakens. Sometimes that demon be sleep inside them. Sometimes, that inner child come up and, they venting about things that they could have done and how certain people held them back. So they start reflecting and, that inner child start coming up. They start showing, this good person that's really deep inside of them. But when you come around, oh man, that demon awakens. And it's like they have no control of it. They can't help it. because you were always the one, the black sheep of the family, the chosen one. And now they know who you are. They know exactly who you are.